I'm Gentleman Josh Hill.
I'm Aaron Jeffrey.
I'm Johnson Jazz Busiest.
I'm Mike Malott.
I'm Raffian Stock.
Tune into the
Don't Tap
podcast.
Don't tap
podcast.
John Jones.
Follow me on Twitter.
Hey, I'm UFC President Dana White, and you're in the ring with Callum McGregor.
To me, the Lions are the number one rankings out there. Those guys are the ones who...
I just love to be able to understand all different fighters' mindsets, and I know that everybody sort of approaches fights and you know, the mental differently when it comes to preparation. And I think it's something you and I have talked about sort of in the background, and that is a big thing that I want to talk about today. But for yourself, it's pretty exciting. You are fighting for a strap at BTC on June 17th. How excited are you about that?
I'm excited. Yeah, the last fight was LFA for the LFA title. And yeah, since then, just been, you know, in the gym. I haven't stopped training since then. A couple fights fell through, like was trying to get on the BTC card and then another LFA card. So yeah, just been in the gym working and improving my wrestling, grappling, MMA striking. And now to fight for a title for BTC is really exciting. Yeah, super inspiring time. There's so many fights happening. Like we've got the UFC this weekend. There's the Niagara Falls Unified card that's coming up. Yeah, Kevin Bastian just fought, another win, and yeah, just inspiring times.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin's a killer. I got to see that fight, and then if you do look ahead, you got Tisha coming up at Unified. You know, a lot of the fighters in that gym have talked about the energy that is not only in Niagara TopTeam, but in the Golden Horseshoe, like in this area right now, the amount of gyms where everybody just sort of works together and they all came up together. It's inspiring to watch you guys work right now. So just speak a little bit more about that. And I mean, even to look at Anthony Romero, PFL, like it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm super grateful to be a part of this team because the mindset, the training, the fighters are so focused and so like determined and focused on their goals, and everyone works together, and the coaches like passionate leadership, like everyone's working to improve like ourselves and then also each other as a team. So it's incredible, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. I feel like it's a historical time with, you know, Jasmine fighting UFC, Mike fighting UFC this weekend, and just you know, Tisha's fighting for a title. Yeah, it's really incredible.
It's going to be remarkable to see like where Canada is, say, even 2 years from now, because it really is at this point, this tipping point. I think a lot of you guys are going to be cracking into the top, so I'd love to see that. Actually, let me tell you the first time I've ever heard about Ashley Nichols. You're gonna laugh at this one. So, my brother trained at a Muay Thai gym out in Kitchener years and years and years and years ago, and he said there was this small girl. Well, let's say, sorry, first, let me tell you the story properly. He hears pop, pop, and the gym is shaking. And he looked over and he sees this small girl, and I know that sounds offensive, but just generating power, the power that it was generating from you, he was just mesmerized by that. And that was one of the sticking points for him, to stick in the gym and stick with Muay Thai there. Just because if you could generate power from your frame and what you do and the devastation that you bring, it was inspiring to him. So as much as that story sounded a little one way, but the reality is, it's just that's my first sort of introduction to you, and then now your professional career. Speak about like that level that you bring into the cage.
Yeah, so I competed a lot in Muay Thai. I won like quite a few championships, titles, pro titles, and I put so much energy and time to get to that level, to be a Muay Thai world champion. And I decided to fight MMA, and I realized that I needed to improve my MMA understanding for striking, right? Because Muay Thai and MMA striking is different. You know, if you're competing against a wrestler, your my Muay Thai style needs to be different, right? Like the pressuring forward and that kind of stuff. Like you can't really do that against a wrestler. They're gonna just you're helping them take you down, kind of thing. So my understanding of MMA striking and the distance and the range and like the rhythm of it and how, you know, I have to be really aware of their pressure and their style, right? So definitely helped me improve my MMA striking understanding being here. And the wrestling, of course, you know, the defenses that I need against a wrestler, so that I can be more confident, more free in my striking. Yes, it's been really like a learning experience, and I feel like I'm improving, so I'm excited.
It is definitely interesting, the nuances in the footwork and like the approach to pressure and sort of the feel in the cage and having to adjust the style. So it's something I wasn't even really thinking about as well too. So something you talked about a lot was your mental preparation going in, even the drop of the ego. I mean, I've talked to Josh Hill about this, and he alluded to the idea of the ego. You sort of need to drop it, even with a win, with a loss, because it doesn't really serve you outside of the cage. And I know that was a sort of a famous Dominic Cruz line. So for you, talk about that, because I mean, coming off of the loss, I know that was a little bit like, for you, it was a little bit of a challenge. Now you've gone in and you put so much damn work in. Talk about that mental process and how that works for you.
Yeah, so with the preparation going into a fight, there's so much time, energy, like mindset that you're trying to keep. Of course, staying like positive and thoughts about courage and strength and just putting on the best performance you can. Like those are all the thoughts that I try to keep. And then I think when I lost, I felt like all of the thoughts and the mindset and the preparation kind of came to like a stop, right? Because of course, like I'm thinking, I want to win the fight. I want to make sure that my skills are the best they can be. I want to make good decisions. However, I couldn't in the moment, and that's how I got the loss. So it was like an awakening moment afterwards where I was like, okay, there's so much more to improve on in terms of mental preparation and skills. So that's the battle I had, I guess. And now since then, I've put in the work. Like I said, I haven't stopped training since the fight, and definitely improved on wrestling and grappling and striking and mindset and strength. So I'm looking forward to the fight.
That's awesome. So that loss served exactly where it needed to be served. It's like that lesson, and it sort of surged you in another direction, which is awesome. And now we're sitting with a belt on the line. We're gonna go get that belt, right? Now, for you, another thing I noticed too online, and everybody has their different things that they do to sort of diffuse the training and diffuse the chaos of the training and the camps and everything else. You seem to love to go on hikes. You seem to love to go and be with nature. I'm with you on that one. Maybe partake in a little puff, la, 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 you know. So for you, talk about, you know, that. So the contrast of the chaos maybe in the gym and why you need to have that alone time and that mind space for yourself. It's important.
It's so important, definitely. You know, taking a break from the intensity and the energy of training. It's really intense, like sparring, our wrestling practices, the conditioning, the hard running, the hard sprints. Everything is so intense, and the energy. So I need to have time where I just slow down and completely relax, clear the mind, you know, take a walk, or just honestly like put on some like Zen music. And you know, because even the music that I listen to before training is more intense. It's a higher tempo. So I definitely try to slow down in like my regular life. Yeah.
And that makes sense. I mean, Kyle Nelson talked about the fact that he doesn't really fear the fight anymore, but it's the idea that he tries to get his body into a state. So if you're in training, you're constantly getting your body into a state of defense and offense, and turning it into that warrior mindset. You got to sort of shift gears back and forth. I can imagine it is a challenge at times. So, so we talked about the ego, and then also with the mental preparation, even right before a fight, everybody has different things that serve them as motivations or serve them as things that are going to allow you to be able to step into that cage and you know, do what you do best. Is it visualization for you? Is it positive affirmations? Is it you know, your coach that you lean on a little bit to sort of be in your ear? Like, everybody's different. For you, what is that like day before the fight? You know, weigh-ins are over, we're in the hotel room, we're trying to keep our minds straight. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I think in my life I've been through a lot of adversity. So I guess I can walk in with a bit of chip on my shoulder. You know, I've been through so much that a fight is not going to be really anything to me. Of course, preparation and it's a sport and everything, but that's one of the things. And then also, my mom believed in me like so much. She was so proud like of me as a fighter, and as her daughter, right?
When you're coming out and you have, say, D-marks in your ear, you have somebody in your ear, like I could even see when you were talking there, before you referenced about your mom, you were talking and there was a little bit of a shift there I saw in your eyes. So you turn into, like right now, you're the person that wants to go at nature, we're zen, maybe smoke a little J, and then all of a sudden there's a shift and there's a different person that's coming out of that tunnel, and now we have the warrior coming out.
Yeah. So
speak about that warrior.
Yes. So like I said, I've been through a lot in life, and then also the Indigenous community, my family, my mom, everyone believes in me. And in terms of, like, they're proud that I'm accomplishing so much in mixed martial arts, and just knowing that I inspire other people, that really helps fuel the spirit, right? So I'm in there or about to walk out, and I just remember that, you know, my ancestors, my family, my mom, my community is with me. So I'm ready to be a warrior.
And that was something that I was going to talk to you about next, was, you know, being a voice for people that don't seem to have a voice. And in Canada, we could say we're as liberal, and we're there to help people and everything else, but that's just not the case in Canada. I'm sorry, the Indigenous communities have been left behind more than once. And for you, being a sort of powerful visual is so important. Speak to that. Not only as a powerful Indigenous person, but a powerful Indigenous woman is so crucial in Canada.
Yeah, it's really important to see, you know, the Indigenous people in a positive light, right? And mixed martial arts is one way that I can communicate that I'm strong and I'm empowered, I'm healthy, I'm thriving, I'm inspired, I'm improving and living life, right? And then there's so many people in the front lines. Like, there's so many people in the community that are in the community, you know, they're offering time and energy and care, and they're just in the community and helping support the Indigenous people, right? So there's so many people in the front line. So I'm so grateful for those people who are there in the community. Like, sometimes I go back, like I went to my community a few times to speak and to teach like Muay Thai a few times, which is really good to give back, right? And just recently I've been so focused on training and fighting that I'm being a bit selfish right now, and I'm really focused on training and preparing for fights. But eventually, you know, I'll return home and I'll do that again. And yeah, it's so important to be an Indigenous woman empowered in Canada and in the world, really. So it means a lot to be able to be a symbol of that. And I just encourage everyone to, you know, find something they're passionate about and continue to fight, right?
And thank you for sharing with everything there. I know we got a little bit deep there, and I knew that no matter what, with you and I talking, that was probably going to happen. But understand that emotion, people love emotion. They appreciate emotion. They appreciate you being genuine. So don't feel any which way about that. But let's jump into your opponent. Let's take a look at this. We got a vacant strawweight title coming up, June 17th. You're going to go in there and show the new extra level of grappling wrinkle that you have in there. But you're more importantly going to go in there and show exactly what you can do with the striking. You have Carla Pastrana coming in. She has one TKO finish, one submission finish. What does she bring to the table? Do you feel that it's going to intrigue you as a matchup and has intrigued you on tape to really as a challenge?
Yeah, she's a scrappy fighter. Like, she is good with counters. She's good with pressuring forward. She does try to shoot takedowns, Sometimes she'll just pressure forward, and like good with counter striking. So, I mean, we've been preparing for that style. So I'm just gonna go and do what I do and let the training and preparation like do the talking, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, I'm totally prepared, and yeah, it's gonna be a great fight.
And how fun is that? You're smiling there because it's almost like you've been trying out so many new tricks and movements and different styles in the gym right now. It seems like you're excited to put that on display.
Yeah, definitely. I added a few techniques to my style right now, and like a little bit of different footwork and some distance things and setups, and yeah, so you'll see that in the cage on June 17th.
Perfect. I think that we just leave it there. It's perfect to leave it there. Once again, thank you very much for sharing. And like I said, don't feel a way about it. It's some of the best conversations you're going to see that people are going to be inspired by are ones that are genuine, and that's what they need to be. So I really appreciate that.
Hey, I'm Ashley Nichols. I fight out of Niagara TopTeam, and tune in to the Don't Tap podcast.